All right, joining me now is Bud Locklear. He is with Earnscliffe Strategies and previously worked as an advisor at the U.S. Embassy in Ottawa. Good morning, Bud. Thanks so much for being with us.
Good morning. A pleasure to be here, Marcia.
So let's begin with this, I'll call it ribbing from Donald Trump. Is this much ado about nothing? What do you make of it?
Well, I agree 100% with Ambassador Hillman that ribbing, jokes, conviviality, is a good thing in this relationship. And the characterization that we should be excited about every Truth Social post or offhand comment, we get it. Canada depends on the United States, but it's not something which we need to react, viscerally every time. I think Ambassador Hillman's post that comments, people are calm, they're having a good relationship. That's super positive.
You've got some insight into this. Do you think that Donald Trump respects the Prime Minister and respects the fact that he reached out to him last week, wanted to have this meeting face-to-face instead of just over the phone? What are your thoughts around Trump's thoughts of our Prime Minister?
Well, I've never met President-elect Trump. I've worked closely with his ambassador to Canada. I wouldn't hazard to guess what President-elect Trump thinks, other than to say he knows that he wants to make an impression. He does that consistently very well. Globally, people are looking at what he says, whether it's about Canada or the UK or France or China, and that's the impact. He understands the role that leaders have in around the world that he's interacting with. So, does he respect the Prime Minister? I'm certain that he respects the Prime Minister's position. He likely, he knows the Prime Minister and respects the Prime Minister as a human being. But at the end of the day, we can only see what we see in terms of the comments and how he's portraying the relationship. And I think that's a good message, as Ambassador Hillman said. There's ribbing, there's positive conversation, establishment of a rapport. That's essential.
Do you feel that the meeting in Florida changed Trump's position at all on the tariff threat? Trump didn't say he would drop them, but do you think it changed anything on that threat?
I think President-elect Trump has a very clear idea of how he wants to message in the court of public opinion. The public opinion that matters is the United States voters. And I think he has a vision of what he wants to do. Individual conversations at this stage are unlikely to solidify a particular decision one way or another. We're going to see the Congress convene on January 3rd. 119th Congress. Those people are going to have something to say about tariffs, because it's the Congress that owns the ability to impose tariffs. They've granted certain opportunities to the president to be able to invoke certain elements of those trade agreements. They're going to have a say in this. I think the people in the administration, of which there's several thousand, some of them Senate confirmed, some of them not, are going to have a lot to say, a lot of advice to provide to the president and to the Oval Office. So, I think it's too early to say, has he changed his mind? I mean, his mind is made up. President Trump's mind is made up clearly that he wants to influence other countries' decisions about how they interact with the United States on trade and economic matters.
I want to get your take on something that I read last week, one of Trump's inner circle saying that at his core, Trump is a free trader. Do you agree with that, given your experience?
I think he's a free trader, but also enjoys using the tools available to him to leverage and get the best deal for the United States of America. And, that's his job. And I think that's something clearly that the administration of the Canadian Prime Minister and his cabinet understand full well, is that it is in the mind of the president, it might be a free trader, but it's also a little bit of a zero-sum game. And then those two edges come together to arrive at a consensus position that works for most everybody.
Bud, glad you could join us today. Bud Locklear is with Earnscliffe Strategies, and he previously worked as an advisor at the U.S. Embassy in Ottawa.